Suspense. This is the Man in Black, here again to introduce Columbia's program, Suspense. Tonight our stars from Hollywood are Miss Virginia Bruce and Mr. John Loder. Miss Bruce appears as a beautiful and adventurous young lady who went in search of the bright face of danger and risked her life while finding it. Mr. Loder's role is that of the smooth and charming gentleman who granted her employment in a perilous enterprise. The story called The Cross-Eyed Bear by Dorothy B. Hughes is tonight's tale of Suspense. If you've been with us before, you will know that suspense is compounded of mystery and suspicion and dangerous adventure. In this series are tales calculated to intrigue you, to stir your nerves, to offer you a precarious situation, and then withhold the solution until the last possible moment. And so it is with the performances of Virginia Bruce as Lisanne Stephan and John Loder as Bill Folker. We again hope to keep you in suspense. The Cross-Eyed Bear. Subway train, Midtown, New York. A tall blonde girl reading an item in her newspaper. Reading it over and over. An advertisement. A personal advertisement.
Wanted. A beautiful girl. No special training required, but must not be afraid to look upon the bright face of danger. Full wardrobe and liberal expenses, good salary. Apply in person, room 1000, the Lorenzo Hotel, East 51st Street.
51st Street!
How do you do?
I came to answer an ad.
Oh.
Is this the place?
Yes, this is the place, I should think.
Well, am I the only one?
Not quite, but just now you're the only one.
I see. I thought...
Listen, Miss, whatever your name is.
Lisanne. Lisanne Stephenson.
Take my advice, Lisanne, before it's too...
Lydia, about that... Oh, someone to see me?
This young lady came in answer to the ad, Mr. Folker. Miss Lisanne Stephenson.
I see. Well, won't you come in, Miss Stephenson?
Thank you.
In here, please, my office. Please sit down, won't you?
Thank you.
Not bad. Not bad.
Oh, excuse me, Miss Stephenson. This is my associate, Mr. Hugh King.
A bodyguard. She might as well know these little things, Bill.
Hugh's not really rude, Miss Stephenson. It's just a mannerism.
Well, Bill did advertise for a beautiful girl. I've always considered myself sort of an authority on that subject.
I see. Perhaps, Mr. Folker, you'd be good enough to explain why...
Perhaps I might tell you something about the job, eh?
Well...
Why did you apply for this position, Miss Stephenson?
I needed the work.
And you're quite sure you're not afraid of danger?
As a matter of fact, I suppose I am, but I told you I need the work.
Well, that makes two of us.
Miss Stephenson, have you ever heard of the cross-eyed bear?
Yes.
Where?
Why, in the papers. Wasn't that what they called Knut Villiers, the Swedish nickel king?
Did you know he was dead?
Yes, that's how I happened to hear about him, when they had it all in the papers about a year ago.
And did you know he had 3 sons?
No, I didn't read much beyond the headlines.
He did. One of them's dead. His name was Dean, the youngest. The oldest, Stefan, is still in Sweden. The third, Lance Villiers, is where your job comes in.
I see.
Which she obviously doesn't.
I want you to meet Lance Villiers, to get acquainted with him, win his confidence. Do you understand?
I think so.
We know where he is, who he is, but he won't admit it. He pretends he's a piano player named Lance Vaught at Jim and Jack's nightclub. We're pretty sure that Lance Vaught is actually Lars Villiers, the second son of the cross-eyed bear.
Am I supposed to know why you want this done?
You might as well tell her, Bill. She's in for it now, anyway.
In for it?
Oh, you means it seems you're hired. You are.
Oh, thank you.
You accept?
Yes, yes, I accept.
Well, then, the background, Miss Stephenson, is this. When the cross-eyed bear, that is, old Knut Villiers, died, he left a will. The will was consciously designed to bring about the murder of at least 2 people.
Murder?
Yes. He left his estate, which included several important mines, divided equally among his 3 sons. He left a check for $3 million. 1 check torn in 3 pieces. 1 piece for each of his sons. And all 3 pieces must be presented together before the check is valid.
A check torn in 3 pieces?
Oh, sure, it's an old gag, but it's effective if you want a house divided.
You see, the old bear knew that one son would eventually kill the others for their shares. And he knew which one.
Stefan.
The one in Sweden?
Yes.
But why do such a thing if he knew?
Survival of the fittest, chum. The fittest to run his empire. The old boy is what is known as a rugged individualist.
And because he hated all of his sons and wanted them to hate each other, they weren't even brought up together. Why, they've never even seen each other.
But it seems so... Can't someone bring them together? Isn't there some way?
Sure. Stefan's way. First he killed Dean and...
Of course, there's no proof. It happened somewhere up in Vermont.
I thought you said Stefan was in Sweden.
We think he is. But there are ways of doing these things.
No, he's on the trail of Lance, the second brother. And that's where you come in. We want to get to him before Stefan does.
But if you think you know where he is and who he is, why don't one of you talk to him?
Because he's scared. He doesn't trust anyone. He won't talk to anyone. Now, maybe he'll trust you.
But, Mr. King, may I ask just why...
Sweden, you see, is neutral, and so they're scared to do anything about it officially. Now, Bill here is like one of those spies in the movies. If he gets caught, his own government is the one to throw the first stone.
Besides that, my government is afraid that if Stefan gets control of the mines, he'll turn them over completely to the Germans.
Yes, Stefan's pro-Nazi among his other virtues.
Well, Miss Stephenson, will you be ready to go to work tonight?
Yes, I'll be ready.
I'll reserve a table at Jim and Jack's. 2, in fact. For, say, 10 o'clock. We'll meet you around the corner from the bar. I don't want Lance to see us together.
I'll be there.
Very well, then, Miss Stephenson. Oh, by the way, here's a little cash. You may want to buy yourself an evening dress or 2.
Thank you, but...
Oh, not at all. Part of the bargain. Goodbye. See you later.
Heavens. It's $1,000.
Well, so you got the job.
Yes. You were trying to warn me about something before I went in, weren't you?
It's no use now. I only hope you have better luck with it than I had.
Were you... Oh, I'm so sorry.
Don't be. Look, Lizanne, I don't know who you are, but you must be somebody. You must be mixed up in this thing somehow.
I must be somebody?
If you're not, get out of it while you can. You are, of course, but get out of it anyway.
Why?
Didn't it ever occur to you that the ad you answered may have been in the papers for weeks, and that there are thousands of beautiful girls in New York, and that hundreds of them must have come up here and been turned away?
I wondered, yes.
And why do you think, out of all those, you were chosen?
That's it. I don't know. Diary, October 12th. Yes. Why was I chosen? Who are they, really? And more important, what do they know about me? There's no answer except to work with them and wait. At least I know that at last I found the trail of the cross-eyed bear. It's true, then, about the torn check divided among the 3 sons. And one is already dead, Dean. The second, the man I'm supposed to meet tonight, to trap. But I'm sure now that I was right to come to New York, and I'm sure I was right to answer the strange ad. As for danger, I always knew it would be there.
Sure Lance hasn't come in yet, Miss Stephenson?
Positive. I've asked the head waiter twice. I don't think it would be wise to ask again.
Perhaps not.
Does he do this often? Stay away like this?
No, that's the funny part. They say he's been at that piano every night for a year. This is the first time...
Look, Lizanne. Do you mind if I call you Lizanne?
No.
Well, you didn't by any chance tip our friend off that people were looking for him, did you?
Why should I when I'm working for you?
Oh, I'm sorry. Skip it. Just a habit. Nobody trusts anybody in this thing anymore.
But if you don't trust me...
Of course we trust you, Lizanne. He was a little nervous, that's all.
I'm not nervous. I like sitting around nightclubs with beautiful girls.
You do look very charming tonight, Lizanne.
It would be hard not to on $1,000.
Hey, don't look around now, but our boy's just come in.
Did he see us?
No. I just happened to be looking around the corner and saw his back. He's heading for the orchestra.
All right, Lizanne, here you go. Don't be nervous. Just talk with him, chat along, you know.
Yeah, what should I not say?
And be as frank as you like. There's nothing to conceal.
All right. Oh, waiter. See you later. Waiter, I have a table reserved for tonight. My escort will be along shortly.
Yes, madame. What is the name, please?
Stephenson. It's table number 24, I think, over by the orchestra.
Oh, well, this way, please, madame. Ah. And here we are, madame. Do you wish to order now or later?
I'll wait, thank you.
Oh, thank you, madame.
Excuse me.
Yes?
May I ask you a question?
Why not?
Won't you sit down for a minute?
All right. Well?
I wanted to ask your name.
My name is Vaught. V-A-U-G-H-T, Vaught.
And your first name?
Lance. Why?
It's only because you look like someone whose picture I saw in the paper once.
Yeah?
Don't you believe me?
Why should I? You're just another one of these people who've been going around here lately with a bad case of mistaken identity. Well, you're wrong, too.
You know about it, then?
About the cross-eyed bear? Of course I do. It's been following me long enough. They think I'm Lance Villiers, that I'm heir to a lot of Swedish dough. Well, I'm not.
You still look like the picture I saw in the paper.
Who are you working for, Stephen?
No, that's just it. Don't you see? Your life's in danger.
Not as long as I keep my face shut, it isn't.
Look, you must trust me. I can help you.
I don't need any help.
Are you sure you don't?
Say, who are you working for? I noticed you ducked that one.
No, I didn't. I don't have to lie.
Well, who is it?
His name is Bill Folker.
I never heard of him.
He's working for the Swedish government. He wants to help you, too.
A lot of people seem to want to help me.
Won't you talk to him?
I might.
Tonight, they're here at another table.
They?
Bill and his bodyguard, Hugh King.
Oh, since when do representatives of neutral governments need bodyguards?
Apparently when they become involved with the cross-eyed bear. Please come.
All right. For a couple of minutes. I'll admit I'm rather curious.
Over here. Oh, I didn't tell you my name, did I? It's Lizanne. Lizanne Stephenson.
Oh, nice.
Here we are. Mr. Folker, Mr. King, this is Mr. Lance Vaught.
Oh, how do you do, sir?
Mr. Vaught.
Won't you sit down, Mr. Vaught, please?
Thanks. Uh-huh. I thought perhaps I'd recognize you.
Oh, yes, I've been in here several times.
Pleasure or business?
A little of both. Look, Mr. Vaught, I'll speak frankly to you.
You can save it. Your Miss Stephenson has told me all about it. My name is Vaught. You're barking up the wrong tree.
Got a birth certificate?
Why should I show it to you?
It might, Uh-oh. Here comes something.
Well, hello, Hugh.
Hi, Toby.
Oh, don't let me disturb you. But you better make some introductions, Hugh.
Well, this is Inspector Tobin of the Homicide Squad. Miss Stephenson, Mr. Vaught.
How do you do?
Mr. Folker.
How do you do?
Sir?
What's up, Toby?
Oh, I just thought I'd like to ask a few questions.
Well, I'm sure you don't want me. I've got to get back.
You better stick around, son.
Oh.
I don't
I see.
suppose any of you can give a satisfactory account of your movements between, say, 8 and 10 this evening with witnesses. I thought so. How about you, Miss Stephenson? You're a new one. I thought you might at least.
Well, it took me quite a long time to dress.
It looks as though it might have. Well, it's better to have too many suspects than none, I guess.
Come on, Toby. Give.
There's been a murder.
A murder?
That's right. A certain Lydia Vinton. Your secretary, Mr. Folker.
Lydia?
Surprised?
Why? Of course.
Where do I come in on this?
Well, now, Mr. Vaught, the New York police know a lot more about what's going on in the world than you think. All sorts of things. Like the cross-eyed bear, for instance.
I've got nothing to do with the cross-eyed bear.
Maybe you have, maybe you haven't. But there are a lot of people who think you have, including me.
But Lydia, poor Lydia, she was only my secretary. She had nothing to do with it.
Had nothing to do with the cross-eyed bear? Whether you knew it or not, Mr. Folker, Lydia Vinton was in the cross-eyed bear thing up to her neck. She knew the Villiers setup. She knew the Villiers family. In fact, She was one of the heirs to the Villiers fortune.
Lydia was?
Lydia, Mr. Porter, was the wife of Stephen Villiers. And that's why she was killed.
October 14th. Lydia. Poor Lydia. Who tried to warn me. And no wonder. Lydia was an heir to the Cross-Eyed Bear's estate. And she is dead. Dean was the youngest son and heir, and he is dead. And the next, Lance. Of course he is Lance Villiers. His disappearing is as good as signing a confession that he is Lance Villiers. He disappeared not because he was a murderer,